What's up? Sorry, I'm spamming links again. It'll just be a minute. Okay. Sorry, I was spamming the link as one must do. This hell world. Oh, still got the bloops. Okay, that's good. Bad case of the bloops. There we go. New emote. Hell yeah. There's been enough situations where I feel like this is a good one to have. I think it'll get a lot of use. And then I'm also working on SIP for Skelly. Oh, there's a lot of emotes going on tonight. And I also have Podreg's Chibi prize from the giveaway I'm working on. Hey. Just repeat to yourself, it's just a picture. You should really just relax. Right? You don't just ask a skeleton where the liquid goes when they drink. Jeez. That's getting kind of personal. Where does the liquid go when you consume it? Oh yeah, and I'm doing new YCHs. Where is it? I was thinking about latte art, and then I was like, you know what? I could just draw portraits that look like latte art, so I should do that. So I did one for Diffuse Moose, the founder of Wild Abandon, as a gift. And then I also have... Hang on. I folders in this file. Oops. Gotta turn on all the layers. Anyhow, I have Ceres the cat. That's the first one I did. That was more of a test to see if it would work. And then I have my bat. And then I have two commissions so far. But they haven't been paid yet, so I'm not gonna work on them yet. Gotta get that money first, and then I'll work on them. But these are cheaper than my normal YCHs. They're only $20 a piece. Because they're actually pretty simple. It's just a very simple headshot, like floating head. There's no body or neck or anything. And it's a limited color palette. It's really just this white color, this kind of light brown color, and then the darker brown. So they're not complicated, they're not hard to do, they don't take that long, so they're only $20. It's a $20 latte. Okay, but how often do you get a latte that will never go bad, that is personalized for you? Huh? Doesn't happen too often, right? It's worth it. Hello, Podrig. Bristleburger, Podrig, whichever you'd like to be addressed as. Well, you have to apply coffee to your screen to make it taste like coffee. That's the trick. But then you're gonna have a messy screen. And you might short out your monitor. Or your phone, whatever you're watching on, I don't know. Here's the chibi. And then we got the emotes. I'm working on neck bones. Send Skelly your neck bones, children. And don't ask the skeleton where the liquid goes. It's rude. That's getting personal. I don't want to think about the internals of the Glizzy Gulper, to be honest. I don't want to think about the Glizzy Gulper at all. The physics of that baffle me and terrify me. Like, it's just a matter of time before the trick doesn't work out and that dude just straight up dies from inhaling hot dogs. And it's just like, oh god. I'll have to post that video again because some people here probably didn't see it when Nut posted it. But that shit it's awful. It's awful. Here, I'm gonna grab it right now because people need to see this because I had to see it. Yes, yeah. But there are people here who probably haven't seen it. I just googled Glizzy Shooter and I got articles about a 16-year-old who shot a rapper whose name was apparently C. Glizzy. I didn't know about any of this, but okay. That's a little more wild than I was looking for. There it is. Jojo! Welcome back. 5 months in a row. God gave raccoons hands but not shame, that is true. But I feel like they accomplish so much more without shame. So that's the glizzy shooter. It's terrible. If you haven't seen it, now you have to see it. It's not safe for work, but it's kind of not safe for thinking about, I guess. I hate it. It makes me feel bad. I don't like it. It makes me deeply uncomfortable. That's what it is. It doesn't make me feel bad, it just makes me feel very uncomfortable. Mildly anxious about that person's health. And I don't even know this person. You know, if somebody wants to inhale hot dogs and shoot them out of their throat at high speeds to entertain other people, Godspeed, but if I have to watch that shit, I am going to think about all the ways it could go very, very wrong. Because that's what I do, because I get intrusive thoughts about that kind of stuff. Constantly. And then I find out that not everybody gets those, and I'm like, how I can't even conceive of such an existence where you are not bombarded with those thoughts and images all the time. That is wild to me. Imagine not being anxious about every possible way things can go bad, like all the time. It must be nice. Because that is certainly not my experience. And let me tell you, having a kid makes it so much worse because there's so many more things that your brain can be like, hey, what if this happened? Wouldn't that be terrible? Let's explore this a little bit. Let's play in this space and see how these could go wrong at any moment. It's like, oh no. This is not fun. Anyhow, how's everybody's week been going, huh? Tuesday. I went grocery shopping today. It's also very cold. Yeah, exactly. It's like, what if it goes down too far? What if the hot dog goes too far and can't come back out? What happens then? Obviously, the dude's probably gonna die. But how long is that gonna take? And what is his experience going to be like until he finally departs with a hot dog stuck in his body in a place that it shouldn't be? Like, these are the things that I consider. How many times has he done this? How does he know it's always gonna work, you know? Even Houdini fucked up eventually. And that guy's no Houdini, let me tell you. That coat is great. I only got it like a couple years ago. Before that I was using much lighter coats, and New England winters don't play nicely unless you have, like, you know, substantial cold protection. It gets pretty damn chilly over here. But for some reason I never really got like a proper coat until a few years ago, and I've been living here almost 20 years now. I can't explain it. I can't explain myself. This is my shame. I mostly just tried to stay indoors as much as possible during the winter, basically. Try to avoid the cold rather than confront it with a coat on. That's my explanation. It doesn't still make a lot of sense, but that's okay. I don't care. Also, even in that coat, I was still cold in the car. It was still cold. It just wasn't unbearably cold like it would be otherwise. Yeah, so oftentimes, see, I'm a Californian, no matter how long I live elsewhere. Um, Oftentimes I'll be in a grocery store, even in the middle of summer, like the sweltering, swampy summers that we have here in New England. Um, I'll be in a grocery store or something, and I'll be in the refrigerated section, and I will be suffering. It'll be cold. I'll be shivering. Like, I'll just be deeply uncomfortable because it's just too damn cold. Oh yeah, this is a reference of a piece of obsidian that I was using a long time ago. It's, like I said, I don't clean out my references that often, so it's just been sitting here ever since. So I guess I should get rid of that. Boop, there it goes. There's my bat. I don't need this up anymore either, but I still have it. Oh, okay, so we are gonna need the hyenas. We'll just leave it on the hyenas. That rock is an edged weapon because it's obsidian and it was used to make cutting edges. Knife culture. Look at those bony ass fingers. Look at the hyena. We got some good stuff on the screen tonight. Alright, I'm gonna save because I made the fingers and I don't want to have to redraw the fingers. Oh, Podrig, for this. Do you want for the legs? Do you want digitigrade? Like, you know, like animal legs? Or do you want like human legs? Plantigrade. And I can do either, it doesn't really matter. Okay, that's what I figured, but I wanted to make sure because I do know some people who prefer plantigrade even on anthros. Which, you know, it's your prerogative. I prefer digitigrade personally, but I'm not opposed to plantigrade. What color did you want the cup again, Skelly? I don't remember. I'm not coloring it yet anyway, but I'm gonna ask. Digitigrade is tricky. I still look up references all the time for digitigrade style legs. Especially if it's some kind of creature I haven't really drawn before. Like, I still have a lot of trouble with very thin, deer-like digitigrade legs. I have trouble figuring out the proportions of the different parts, like how long each one should be. If it's something more canid or feeled, I can usually wing it without much help, but if it's more like a horse or a deer, I have trouble with it still. Which kind of sucks for me because this month I've drawn... I'm drawing 2 Krampuses. I just finished one. I'm drawing another one, which I can't show on stream at all because it's a little smutty. And then I've also drawn a pinup of a Kieran character that I have. And all of those have long deer, goat-ish kind of legs that are digitigrade. Oh, fun! Getting a lot of practice with that. Okay, the challenge is a learning experience. But also can be frustrating. Because for one of the pieces, I redrew those legs probably 5 or 6 times because they never quite looked right to me. That was slightly annoying, especially since I was trying to get it done before the end of last month, and I did not accomplish that because I kept having to redraw those legs. Because for those of you who don't know, I have a Patreon. On my Patreon, you can get like first access to pieces of all sorts. I usually post artwork up there first. You also get access to a special VIP channel on my Discord, along with subscribers here on Twitch. But also one of the tiers gets you access to the lewd artwork that I do, and I try to do at least one lewd piece a month. That's about all I can promise. Sometimes I do more, but usually it's at least one smut piece a month, and you can find that on Patreon. And for Lachlan here, he mostly does smut and has trouble getting out enough general audience's pieces for his portfolio. We have opposite problems. Okay, so beigey colors, random, okay. Bone color. Alright, so I can do that for you. I can do whatever you want. The only problem I think we might run into with this, and let me copy that hex, is that if we do a bone color, and we're already gonna have a bone color for the skeleton itself, it might be hard to read at smaller resolutions, and it might just kind of blend like into the hand. Okay, so yeah. This color, I could do this color, but the thing is, the bone color is going to be very, very similar to this. So, we can still do it. I'm going to swatch it over here on the side just to have an example to color sample from. But, let me see. So, pulling up one of the previous skellies. See how close in color these two things are? This is the hex code you gave me, and then this is a sample from what I use for the bone color. They're almost indistinguishable. So, I mean, with the line work and stuff, you'd still be able to tell there's a cup there being held, but at first glance, with a tiny little emote on the screen, it would be like, oh, what's that? And then people are gonna have to take a second look. That's my only concern. That's fine. I'm not trying to slap you down or be like, oh no, your idea sucks, we can't do this. I just wanted to, you know, make you fully aware of how close that color is going to be to the bone color I use. You know. So how are we feeling about the Mario Paint music? I can change it if anybody is tired of it by now, or I can leave it. I personally don't care. I'm ambivalent. I'm good with it. So as far as I know, I haven't gotten any kind of mutes or anything for it, so it's safe. Asterisk? Maybe not, but we'll see. I haven't run into any problems yet, so unless Nintendo just starts to get more litigious about things, which could happen, you know. It's not outside of their general MO. A little grating. I wish there were more, like, remixes of Mario Paint music. There was an example of video game music that actually did get a strike. And I think it was because it was sampled by somebody who copyrighted their music, which is a whole thing, but there is the possibility that it could cause issues. Yeah. So. All right. We'll do some Conalcast for now. There's no new episodes, but we can still just go back into the collection.
Conalcast by Conalrad.
Okay, yeah, that could
Hello
work.
Everyone. This
that,
song is quite
that's kind of a good
for Conalcast.
Ooh, very loud.
I really like it though. I would dance to it, but as a robot voice without legs, unfortunately that's not really possible. Anyway, let's go.
Okay, so that red is a pretty good like diner mug red. It's more of a red, but it's a little muted. It's like a slightly desaturated poppy red to me. Or a light brick. But yeah, I think that would work. That's a nice bit of contrast too, because we're gonna have the icy blue for the eyes, and then a red here. That's a good contrast, and then the neutral of the bone and the black. So that'll help everything pop in a very distinguishable way without anything kind of you know, overloading the composition and distracting from the rest of the stuff. Which is important with the emotes because you don't have a lot of room, you know, to establish everything. Like I have to stop myself from trying to put too much detail into emotes because I realize that a lot of it you're not even gonna see at the normal sizes people are using them. Got some synth drum in this one. I like synth drums. So at the grocery store, pretty much everybody had a mask on, so that was good. I did still see quite a few people who were pulling their masks down to talk, or did not have their noses covered. And it's like, at this point, it has been very close to a year since this started, and they still haven't figured it out. hell? I fiddle with mine only in I have to pull the part near my chin down because the mask rides up on my face, because my mask is actually a little bit too large for my face because I'm a relatively small person overall. But it's just tugging on just the very bottom of it to get it back on my face. Like, I'm not playing with it, I'm not pulling it down, I'm not, you know, futzing with it or anything. But yeah, like, I saw countless people adjusting their masks all the time, pulling it down to talk, pulling it down to talk on the phone.
Let's go.
Why? Just, do you have bad breath? You can't stand the smell of your own breath? Well, that's another problem that you should probably address, but keep your mask on. I don't get it. It's not that hard. Like, I have a 6-year-old. My 6-year-old was at the store with us. Did not play with the mask, did not remove the mask or pull it down once while we were in the store. If my 6-year-old can manage not to screw around with a mask or remove it to talk or whatever, a grown-ass adult should be able to handle that. Like, honestly. And the nose thing, I don't get the nose thing. I don't get it. Why do you have to have your nose peeking out? Is your nose scared of the dark? Is that what it is? I don't understand. Like, for one, it seems more uncomfortable than just wearing the mask. What's a mask basket? Also, most of the people I saw that had the mask not covering their noses weren't like people that seemed like they were having an especially hard time. A lot of them were younger people, actually, like younger than I am. So I don't know. I don't know. Oh god, yeah, so my allergies have been acting up again for some reason. Like, the last week or so, I've just been having a real hard time with allergies. And, so today when I got up, because we were basically planned to go to the store as soon as we all were up and, you know, ready, I was worried, like, oh no, I'm gonna be sneezing into my mask and stuff, and I can't, like, take my mask off to blow my nose or anything. It's gonna be awful. Fortunately, that didn't happen. For some reason, my body decided to spare me and only have me sneeze when we were in the car. But yeah, I was constantly like, oh no, what if I have an allergy attack while I'm in the middle of the store? It's gonna suck. My mask is gonna get gross. Just plastering the inside of your mask with your own gunk. Gross. You have to marinate in it. And keep the juices in. So my sister-in-law still doesn't have water. It's been, I think it's been over a month now. She moved out and into this place. Yeah, I think it's been like a month and a half or something. And then it's in a more rural area, and the water it's a well, like a well. And I guess at some point the water stopped working. And so she doesn't own the place, her boyfriend's parents do, but they kind of like dragged their feet about it, and then they got a guy out there who thought that he could fix it with a new pump, but that didn't work. So then they've had like a couple other dudes come out to look at it, and one of them didn't even show up, like no call, no show. And then now I guess they're discovering that the water supply underground that they were tapping into just is exhausted. Now they're probably gonna have to drill a new well and try to find a new source, and I don't know what that involves, but it seems bad. We don't have that problem here. We actually live in a city. It's a small city, but it's a city, and we have municipal water. That's good. But yeah, I don't miss that aspect of rural living. Like back when we lived at my in-laws, we had a well, we had a septic system. There's like no infrastructure, and it sucked. And the well water was so loaded with iron that it just caused water heaters to rust out every few years, and we'd have to get them replaced. But not before having like a week or so of no hot water at all, which was, you know, unpleasant to deal with. Having to boil pots of water to take a bath, not an enjoyable way to spend time. So I don't miss that at all. So my sister-in-law has been coming back over here just to use the shower, really. Hello, Maudie. Welcome. We're just talking about the terrors of relying on well water when the well runs dry. Yeah, my sister-in-law, who recently moved out of our place to go live in a place owned by her boyfriend's parents, in a more rural area than us. Not too far away, but far away enough to make a difference. The well has run dry, and they have no water whatsoever. They have been coming back here to take showers because they don't have any water for showers. Oh, yeah. I don't think we ever had that problem when we were living with a septic tank, but you can't flush when there's no power? Oh yeah, because then the well isn't gonna refill the tank. Oh yeah. Yeah, I'm not. I guess the tap water here is more drinkable than any of the tap water in California that I experienced when I was growing up, because that stuff is just ass. But by and large, I don't think I've ever encountered like truly like pleasant to drink tap water. It's more like a, you're thirsty and that's what you got.
By Connell Rad. Don't give up.
Growing up, we had a filter, like a built-in filter, like one that you have to put like rock salt into. Or no, we had one that was hooked up to the faucet itself, and then we also had a water softener. And that's what you had to put rock salt into. So I was actually kind of spoiled as a kid because our water was both filtered coming out of the faucet and also softened. And we get some pretty hard water out in California. And this was before Nestle started sucking up all the water and selling it. So I'm sure the water has just gotten worse since. Yeah, refilling the water softener is a workout. I wasn't happy when I became old enough for my mom to pass off the job of refilling the salt in the water softener. She didn't want to do it anymore. Ew, eggy water, gross. Oh, thank you. Yeah, it's still technically a work in progress. I'm not 100% happy with it yet. But at this point, if I want to fiddle with it anymore, I have to pay a subscription to get all the features in Live 2D, and that's $20 a month, and I don't want to do it. So I just kind of deal with it for now until I can't stand it anymore and I pay more money to tweak it. But yeah, I think considering this was my first attempt at doing anything like this, and I just kind of learned as I went, it turned out pretty good. Ugh, eggy water. All I can think about with eggy water is like the water that's left over after you boil eggs. Ugh. Ah, God, now I'm grossed out. Now imagine boiling hot dogs and eggs together in the same water. Water with a smack of ham to it. Okay, I have saved. I don't want to lose the progress on the skelly. That is a lot of moths. Where would you even keep all those moths? gotta give them all your sweaters? You have to go to the thrift store and buy more sweaters just to feed your moth. Yay, bat. Okay, so do I want to get ambitious and draw in a little bit of like the skull and the vertebra here and then have the rest of the mouth be transparent, or do I just want to fill it in black? Don't know yet. Damn, it is cold today. I have a sweater on and I have a blanket on my lap, and it's still cold. I should turn the heat back on, but it costs money and I've already been running it fairly consistently. It snowed last night actually. It was light powdery snow that just kind of blew away by the time the sun really came up, but it did snow a little bit. Because we were up late and we're like, oh, you know, are we gonna wake up in time to make a trip to the grocery store feasible? It closes pretty early around here. And then it was like 7 o'clock in the morning today, and I looked outside and it's like, oh, kind of snowing. So I was like, you know, you're not too tired, we could go now. Like as soon as the place opens at 7, just get it out of the way and then come home and just pass out. We ended up getting up earlier and just going then. And by then all the snow was gone, and the only evidence that there was any snow at all was like a couple of people's like pickup trucks had some snow left over on the back. But I saw a truck in the parking lot of the grocery store that had some snow on its bumper, and that truck on its bumper also had Trump bumper stickers, 2 of them. And I was like, if I was someone that had those stickers on my vehicle, I would be very embarrassed right now. Especially since those types are so obsessed with winning and triumphing over their perceived enemies. So having memorabilia of a loser seems like it would be frustrating to them. Oh yeah, so hey, how about that new Cyberpunk game that's apparently got some kind of flashing light frequency that's causing seizures in people? That's great. That's very Cyberpunk. As if there aren't enough problems with that game already. Yeah, I haven't seen as much MAGA stuff, thankfully, but I still see it every so often, and it's just like, why? Why? You don't have to support him. He lost. It's not like you have to support him because he's the president. You can just say no. Just not do that. I know there's still people that are like, oh, what is it? What's their new slogan? Stop the steal or some crap like that. Because they somehow think that there was foul play or some crap like that. I don't know. It's just, ugh. Oh, God. Imagine being a fan of somebody like that. Like, even before he got into politics, just imagine being a fan of that. Ugh. Trump's kind of always been a detestable human being. I can't imagine throwing your lot in with that. Well, all the court cases are getting slapped down, so... Or not even, like, slapped down, just, like, thrown out because they're not even filed properly.
Just like you. Keep it up.
Like, they can't even submit the right paperwork, and it's just getting dismissed. Which is also really funny to me. I haven't seen that either. If anybody has a link, give it to me so I can watch it after the stream. Drunk Midwesterners just makes me think of Surviving Edged Weapons and Giant Spider Invasion. Packers, woo! Part of the enjoyment of watching Giant Spider Invasion recently was, I mean, it's a classic episode, but it was watching Skelly, like, realize how Wisconsin it was, and being like, I'm in this and I don't like it, like, in real time. That was amazing. I really enjoyed that. Especially the part when they were like, there's not enough Packers in this. And then we got to the Packers part. I am suddenly extremely hungry. I wasn't, and then like 2 seconds later, I'm just like ravenously hungry. I love that. That's great. Good signals, body. I had sushi today. Had supermarket sushi, but the grocery store that we go to has like a little dedicated counter for sushi. And there's like legit people working behind it that actually know what they're doing. So it's pretty good. No, I didn't get any wasabi peas today. I did get some Pocky though. Chocolate, strawberry, and matcha. I don't know if I trust the sushi counter enough to get actual raw fish sushi there because I'm very picky about quality of the fish. But I do get like the, I guess you could call them like pre-cooked sushis, like California roll and stuff, spicy lobster roll and whatnot. So we got spicy California roll, we got regular California roll, and then we got veggie rolls. Because my kid has never really had sushi before and was very interested in trying it, so we decided to go with some safe options in case. In the past, my kid has had issues with the texture of avocado, so I didn't just want to get a bunch of California roll and then have them be like put off by the avocado. But they ended up liking it a whole lot and are a big fan of sushi now. Huge success. They don't have any hot Cheeto rolls or any like super weird things. They have one that has I don't remember what they're called. They're like the little leftover bits of batter from when you make tempura. I don't remember what they're called. But they're like the little chunks of fried batter that they reserve. So they have a roll that has those sprinkled on top. And I think they just call it tempura roll, but that's not technically what it is. Yeah, I love avocado by itself. If I have avocado, there's a good chance at least one of them will just be eaten with a spoon right out of its skin with usually lemon pepper. I like it with lemon pepper on it. But if I don't have that, then it'll just be a little bit of salt and some pepper. I just enjoy avocado. I just don't like how expensive avocados are. And then because it's the holidays, they had pomegranates. And the pomegranates are expensive. And that always bothers me because growing up, I was fortunate enough to be near a neighborhood where on the back fences of people's yards, there was a creek. So I would walk along the creek and they would have fruit trees in their yard. And the fruit trees would usually hang over the fence. So I would be able to essentially just pick free fruits. And one of the trees was a pomegranate tree. So until I was in my teens, I never paid a dime for pomegranates. And I ate them regularly. Oh, Jojo, that sounds really good. I want that. Also, the fish counter at the store had monkfish, which I don't normally see. I don't think it's a super popular fish. I was tempted to get some, but since I wasn't expecting it to be there, I don't have any immediate plans. So, I kind of want to wait until I have something in mind to make with it. So it doesn't go to waste. But monkfish, if people don't know, it's a type of anglerfish. You know, those big ugly things, the little billy bobbers on their heads. Apparently, I don't know if I've had it before. If I have, I don't remember. But apparently, it tastes like lobster. And when you cook it, it even kind of curls up, kind of like shrimp or lobster meat does. But the monkfish at our grocery store is only like $5.99 a pound, which is pretty cheap compared to some of the other fish they have. So maybe next time, if they still have it, I'll pick some up. I've seen recipes, sort of recipes, make nabe or hot pot using monkfish. Maybe that's what I'll do. I need to get all the stuff to make a hot pot with, though. I need to get, like, the veggies, the mushrooms and stuff. I need more dashi. I haven't had any dashi in a while. I haven't gone to the Asian grocery store. It's so far away. Like a 30-40 minute drive. Hot pot is an important thing in Japanese culture in general. Like, nabe is a staple, especially in the winter. I didn't know monkfish hot pot was a thing in northern Japan. I always heard it was a like a Tokyo thing in the wintertime. I guess that makes sense, though. I'm even more hungry now because we're talking about food. What happened to the bat? What happened? Oh yeah. I don't have any bugs to eat. I would totally eat bugs if that was a more common thing in this part of the world. Bugs. I mean, it's not much different from eating, like, shellfish. Those are just sea bugs. Yeah, we can add this to Red Room, sure. Have even more sippies. All the sippies. I mean, it should be done soon. There's not a whole lot left to it. And it telegraphs pretty well, even at a very small size. Yeah, Jonas, that's basically the point of the sip emote, is like, I'm just drinking my beverage here. You know, I don't know what y'all are talking about. I'm just drinking. Not my business. Sip emotes are also very good for when somebody is just, you know, showing their ass entirely, and you're just watching it happen. It's like, that's where you're gonna take this, huh? Really gonna post that. Like today, I came back and apparently some stuff was going down on the Fediverse again. I had to go to my usual channels to find out what happened, and people just really do decide to post things, don't they? Nothing. It's just people stepping on rakes again. Nothing especially important this time. Nothing like, I guess, Fediverse shaking. like it has happened in the past, not too long ago, but enough that you just kind of like look at it and be like, it costs nothing to not be like this, you know? And not really drama, just some people just being head asses, really. Like I said, it's nothing major. It's nothing that's gonna, at least I hope, not cause week-long
It is supported by
meta
listeners.
shitstorms.
Supporting listener and get announcement-free songs in higher quality and a short extra.
One of them is kind of a weirdo on .social, and then another one was like,
either way, thank you for listening.
Supposedly they're a kid making inappropriate jokes about concentration camps. As far as I know, that's what I gleaned from the Discord chronicle of the situation. I didn't really look into it much further than that. The one on .social is a white woman with dreadlocks, so that's really all you need to know about that. That's the kind of person we're dealing with here. This emote basically sums up my reaction to that. Like that sure is a thing. I always forget how many little weird ridges and knobblies human skulls have. You always think they're a perfectly round and smooth thing except for like the facial bones, but nah, there's all these weird, like over here you got the part where it connects here, and then over here, like if I was doing more detail, there'd be actually something kind of like this going on, like a little depression, because that's where your jaw muscles anchor in to your skull. Like there's a little divot right here behind your brow ridge where your jaw muscles actually attach. Bone tattoos would be cool. Like I imagine that would be something that somebody has considered as like people in like the extreme body mod community, like, hey, what if I like did ritual scarification on my bones? Like carve something into the bone itself. I just think it's funny when you stumble into something going on the Fediverse and you're like, oh, what is it now? Who is it now? And it turns out it's exactly the kind of person you would expect to be involved in that kind of thing, and you're just like, oh, alright.
Hello everyone. Hope you're doing okay. This track is really very hypnotic and wonky, in the best possible way. Just lean into it. Hope you like it. Let's go.
Bone zones and bone stars. Alright, I'm thinking about that Races of Star Trek video again. I mean, we've got a few people in the chat who are former Snouts users. Even I had a Snouts alt until I joined the mod team and I saw what a dumpster fire that was. I was like, nah, I think I'm good. And I stepped down and I deleted my account. And then things really went to shit. Maybe I should have stayed. Maybe I could have prevented that. Or maybe I just would have ended up catching heat for it, even though I would have had nothing really to do with it. But whatever. Whatever. It's over now. Everybody has dispersed to Twitter, to new instances, to instances that were Snouts adjacent already, or to little gated communities. The admins checked out months before any of this went down. They checked out before the Dew Clause thing went down. And after that went down, they basically just handed the keys to the mod team, whoever was left, and said, here you go, good luck. They did not want to deal with any of that. That's why, and I'm not going to get too far into it because I think everybody said basically what they're going to say about it, and there's no point in picking the scab off, to be honest, but one of the reasons why I take so much issue with how fucking terribly a lot of people treated Jessica when she basically took the reins is I don't think they realized that the admins just left her with everything. And we're just like, here you go. Have fun. Like, you're gonna blame somebody that a ship is sinking when it was sinking before they even got their hands on the wheel. Like, this is really fucked up. What was she supposed to do? Yeah, exactly. Like, even if Jess had managed, I think, to salvage what was left, which wasn't much at that point. Things were in pretty bad shambles even when I was on the staff. If she had managed to write it enough to where it was still usable, I think they probably would have kept paying the bills to keep it up, but the admins had no interest in actually running that place, and haven't for many months. They offered me money when I was on the mod team after that one person that kept harassing them about it, basically convinced them to agree to it. But all they had left after the overhead costs from the Patreon was like, I think it was like $50. And when I volunteered, I didn't volunteer for money. I wasn't expecting to make any money off of it. I genuinely wanted to help because I knew a lot of people on Snouts. I wanted to help them out. I figured I had experience. I've been running communities of all sorts, of all sizes, of all themes for many years. IRC chats, forums, Discords, Telegram chats, whatever. I've adminned and modded a variety of things, so I do have experience with that. I figured, oh, I'll help out, you know, they could use the extra shoulders to carry the burden, right? But it just, I don't know what exactly was wrong with Snouts. I can't identify it even to this day, but there was something just deeply, deeply, deeply rotten over there. And I don't know if anybody could have necessarily fixed it. At least not by themselves. I don't know if it was the culture they cultivated. I don't know if it was just too big to handle. I don't know. But something was just fundamentally not right over there. And I'm not saying that just to be like, oh, you know, Snouts, boo, poo-poo on Snouts. It was just bad, you know. Something wasn't right. It just wasn't right. And I don't know what it was. But it was very, very firmly embedded in it. Yeah, something about it was just so insular, and there were a number of people on there that were only interested in interacting with people on the instance. They would actively ignore or block people that tried to interact with them that weren't on Snouts, and it was just really weird. I get curating your experience, I get choosing who you want to interact with, but I don't know, it just seemed kind of bizarre to me. If you're gonna do that, why don't you just start a forum? They're used. I'm not trying to stir the pot or anything, but there's a long time running joke about the Somerville group, relating to the fact that a sizable amount of Snouts people were from a particular part of Massachusetts. A lot of people, not just furries, don't understand how Mastodon works. They don't understand how decentralized, federated social media works. Which, honestly, you know, in this age where everybody is used to extremely centralized, corporate-run social media, where if you're on one site, everybody's on that same site, I can understand that. A lot of people either don't have experience with the ages of internet sites before that was the norm, or they've forgotten. Like, if you're from old internet, you remember how it is with, like, IRC chats and stuff like that. Independently run email services, so not everybody's using the same one. That kind of thing. And I think for people that are used to that, it's easier to understand than people that are just used to, it's like, oh, everybody's on this one site. So how does this work when everybody's not on a one site, but they can still talk to each other? I don't get it.
Now, let's go.
Furry's weird. I've been involved in furry circles for over 20 years now, actually. Getting closer to 25 at this point. For a long time I kept it at arm's length for various reasons. I was closeted, I guess you could say. But drama has always been part of furry. Drama is, I'd actually say it's almost an essential part of furry. I've never experienced a furry space, not just like one for furries, but one where a lot of furries exist, that didn't just constantly have drama of some sort. It's just part of it. I mean, that's not to say that other groups don't have drama, but there's something particular to furry about how the drama hashes out, how it's handled, and how it's regarded. So I think I'm gonna thicken the outlines a little bit just to make things pop a little more, but I think other than that, this is basically done. Yeah, Skelly, I can understand that. And again, up until very recently, I was like that. I went from finding out what furry was through Furcadia, and then being exposed to the more hardcore aspects of the fandom very shortly after through what was it, VCL, I think. In my tender teen years, and then falling into the mentality of furry is a shameful thing, so I kept my associations with it more low-key to avoid the ridicule that often came with being open about being involved with furry. And then that just kind of turned into a only furry around certain people kind of thing, and then that eventually led to me just being like, you know what, fuck it, I don't care anymore, and then just being furry on main. But I wouldn't say that furry is like one of the primary aspects of me. Like, it's not one of the first things I list off when I'm telling people about myself. Yeah. But everybody interacts with it differently. Everybody treats it differently for themselves. Like, some people only want to be furry in certain circles around certain people. Some people want to be all furry all the time, you know, and it's all valid. But I can understand why people would not necessarily want to be like, oh yeah, I'm a furry. Oh god, yeah. I was when did Fur Affinity start? I was already an adult by then, I think. But yeah, I found VCL through people's descriptions on Furcadia back in the late 90s, and oh boy, there was a lot of stuff on there that I probably should not have been looking at. Yeah, in 05 I was already, what, how old was I? I was approaching my mid-20s by that point, I think. I can't do math. I don't know how old I was. I was old enough.
It's going to be okay. Keep going.
The thing is, on Fur Affinity, at least you can set, like, content filters, like, for, like, maturity levels, sort of. In VCL, you couldn't do that. You just enter somebody's gallery and go into a folder and, oh, what's this? If they don't label it as being, like, you know, adult content, then whoopsie. All of a sudden you're experiencing many things all at once. Some of them you don't want. Some of them maybe you do want. I don't know. I was introduced to certain prominent artists. Yes, I remember HMO and Jax the Bat. I was friends with HMO from my days on AOL in anime RP chat rooms, before HMO became a big-time artist and a big-time scammer. I remember HMO when they were called K. HMO is one of those people involved with furry and furry art who regularly decides to skip out on paid work and changes aliases and accounts to avoid the angry mobs left in their wake. Also, HMO had a proclivity for liking to draw certain uniforms from certain nations with certain reputations as a fetish thing. This person has an Encyclopedia Dramatica article on them if you want to read more about it, but there's a lot of colorful language on there that's not pleasant, having to do with their gender identity and presentation. If you just look up HMO, the letters HMO, like health insurance shit, and Encyclopedia Dramatica or furry, you'll probably find exactly what you need to find. Just know that the Encyclopedia Dramatica article is not going to be kind. CW for slurs, basically. But yeah, I knew HMO from back in the old days, and HMO didn't like my particular style of humor, after a certain point, and we were talking on Facebook, and they basically broke up with me as a friend because they were weirdly worried and defensive that my poking fun at people was going to turn on them, even though I never had any indications of that. It was a little bizarre, but yeah, we parted ways probably around 2013 or so. Which is fine. I don't really want to be associated with somebody who's a habitual art scammer. TBH. Not really my kind of scene. I always deliver on my stuff. Oh, is it? I don't think so. I think it's still around. Oh, weird. Well, they also have a Wikifur article, but that doesn't really go into the scams. It just gives a list of accounts. But yeah, you can find the dirt on Encyclopedia Dramatica if you need to. I mean, I don't think there's been any new developments. You could probably just use the internet way back to find a cached version and just read it there. And that might spare you from some of the ads. Since I know that ED is always just loaded with nasty ads. Yeah, so basically they've been problematic for a long time. They rose to prominence in furry because they drew a porn, and it was you know, well done porn. And eventually developed a reputation for taking money for overpriced commissions and not delivering the work, and then cutting off communication with the clients, and then changing aliases and accounts to avoid them. Yeah, there was a lot of fetishy stuff. Like I said, there was a Nazi fetish that was especially prominent, and a few other ones too. And fetishes are fine, unless it's Nazis, in which case, no thank you. And I don't get that. I don't get that. Alright, but I think Scaly Sip is pretty much done now. Thicken the outlines. So it's still pretty easily readable even when it's tiny. And that's what we want for an emote. A real shame because honestly, HMO, K or Holly or whatever you want to call them, is a competent artist. They have a solid grasp of drawing. They've done some really good work. I never cared for their porn very much, but I'm not really that into porn in general. But I've always admired their talent, their skill. I think it's a waste when people that are talented and skilled at something kind of throw it away by being shitty in general, like scamming people or drawing Nazi uniform fetish porn. Yeah, exactly. Like, what a waste of talent, what a waste of skill. But also another thing is that HMO was very deeply involved with Jax the Bat, who I haven't heard much about recently, although I haven't really been looking, but was also a fairly prominent furry artist who had their own problematic things about them. So it seemed like they were perfect for each other. Yeah, John K, I think. The Ren and Stimpy guy. He wasn't the creator, though. He was only the co-creator. So, Ren and Stimpy isn't completely ruined, but it changes things, you know? Oh, he was a sex pest. The sex pest groomer. Really, really bad. Yeah, yeah. There's a whole kind of a I don't know what you would call it. One of his victims, one of the girls that he groomed and exploited, basically told her story, and she gets pretty detailed with it. It's very gnarly. It's hard to deny what he did based on that. And there's been a few other ones too, but I don't think they went in as far to like describe it in full detail as she did. No, I don't want to flatten it. Merge visible layers. Yes, that's what we want. Okay, that is now saved. And that is sent over. So now Skelly can use it and upload it. We're gonna move on to trying to ink this. We might color it tonight, I don't know yet. We will find out. Posture check, that is a good idea. That's a shame because Wolf Cry is a good one. That's a good emote. What we need to do is we need to do something to get you bumped up to another emote slot, so you have more slots. And then you can have all of them at once. When I mean I know that you're having a little bit of a falling out with Furry in general, but when Wild Abandon opens applications again, I can give you a heads up and you can try applying. There's people in Wild Abandon who aren't even officially furry, so it's not really a big deal. You don't have to be like an out and proud furry. And it's a nice community. I like it. Wild Abandon is a primarily furry, but also furry adjacent Twitch team. I'm actually in it. You can see on the little info bar beneath the stream itself. It says Team Wild Abandon. It's just a generally helpful community of streamers. We try to help each other. We raid each other to, you know, help us grow and everything. Just really supportive and welcoming overall. It's pretty cool. There's a lot of really talented folks in it. A lot of talented artists. A lot of really good streamers, like people that just really have it down. That don't necessarily do anything creative. They're just really good at streaming. That's pretty much the only way I can describe it. Yeah, you can't follow teams, but teams are a good way of finding people because you can just click on the team name on somebody's stream and you can just browse all the people that are in the team. And also, people that are on teams tend to raid each other, so you usually end up finding someone new through one of the ones you're watching raiding someone else. Or hosting.
This is Conrad. Stick with this one. It's going places.
But yeah, so applications are not always open. And I think they just finished up a round of applications. So I think Diffuse Moose said that the next time is going to be around February-ish. But it's not like set in stone. But like, you don't have to have like a minimum like follower count. You don't have to have any kind of special achievements or anything like that. Basically, you just need to be you know, active and not an incredibly toxic person. No heated gamer moments on stream. Yeah, Hazi's really good at streaming. Also, Hazi's just really pleasant in general. I love Hazi. Hazi is pushing for partner now. About to... I don't know if she has yet or not, but is about to push the button on the application. Hello, Alex. We're just hanging out, shooting the shit, drawing things, getting some emotes done. Actually, before I get too involved in this, so that the legs aren't just doing whatever this is. Because Digidegrade legs are a little trickier to kind of sort out. While I'm thinking about it, I want to try to get this at least planned. Uh-oh. Why do you need to call the library? What's happening at the library? Is it a book emergency? Oh no. They don't have like an online tool to recover pins or reset pins or anything? Oh yeah, I've used that. I've browsed it anyway. I haven't actually downloaded anything or listened to anything off of it, but I don't remember what it's called, but I'm familiar with the service. Yeah, fuck Amazon. Fuck you, Jeff Bezos. And then I immediately get banned from Twitch. That would be funny. I'd be mad, but I'd also be amused. It'd be such a crock if you could get banned off of Twitch just for talking shit about Jeff Bezos. Have a good lurk, gal. Ah, that sucks, Richie. Those stripy legs, right? Stripies. I have a feeling I'm gonna have to play with these legs a little bit more. This doesn't quite feel right to me. It has gotten a lot harder for me as I've gotten older to like study things intensively like I used to when I was like in school, and I don't know if that's just because I don't have the pressure to do it all the time, or it's just executive functions degrading or something, but it just seems like it's a lot harder now. It requires a lot more energy to maintain the focus. Oh, I understand that, Richie. I get it. I wish audiobooks were a thing more when I was in school. Yeah, exactly. You really have to hold yourself to the task in order to absorb anything, and it kind of sucks. Okay. We can embiggen a little bit. I like those emotes. Whose emotes are those? I like that. I like that weird pixel monster thing. Ah, I am somewhat associated with one of the devs of that game. Basically, I know him because his partner was in the Goon Parents group on Facebook that I was in. It's weird. Yes, SA Goon. Imagine goons having kids. Ugh. Couldn't be me. There is a goon group for fucking everything on Facebook, I swear to God. Like, if you want to talk about, like, extremely niche Facebook groups, goons have you covered. Yeah, that's another community that is no stranger to drama, both internal and external. Nobody whips up a shitstorm like goons. It's one of the reasons I don't use the forums anymore and haven't in like 6 years. That's cool. I like hyena-esque goblin, gremlin, animal, creature races. Like, I like gnolls. That's always fun to see. Anything with goblin or gremlin energy is usually appealing to me. I mean, look at this. Look at this. I'm sorry I'm jumping back and forth between the things. That's the energy I have today.
Do consider joining the Conalrad Patreon. Higher quality tracks.
I'm already a supporter of the Conalrad Patreon,
See
though.
the show notes for the link. Either way, thanks for listening, and see you next time.
I can't join the Patreon twice. Or can I? Unless...
Conalcast by Conalrad.
Get some thumb action going on here.
Hello everyone. Here's some music for you. I hope you like it. Thanks for being a listener, and remember to tell your friends about Conalcast, and if you haven't left a review on Apple Podcasts, it'd be a huge help if you did.
I hope me
Thanks.
playing
Now let's
Conalcast
vote.
on stream counts as telling my friends about Conalcast. Conalcast rules, and It's also cool because the creator, Conrad, is cool, and I added him on Twitter directly to ask if he was okay with people playing his music on stream. And he was like, for you personally, yes, you can. Because I asked nicely. It is not a 24-hour stream. That would be cool, but probably not realistic. It's a long form type of music that is usually released every week or two, depending. So it's like a 30 to 45 minute long play track of original music roughly once a week. And that is all of the tracks so far. All the episodes, I should say. There's also a new thing that he's doing, but it's Patreon only, so I don't feel good about playing that on stream. It's basically Drone, if you like Drone, that he's doing now.
Cast by Conrad.
I want more people to commission me for those, the latte YCHs. Not just because I want the money. I do want the money. But also because I like using that brush. And I hadn't really used that brush very much before. But I really like the effect it has. So this is the brush. I'm going to show you the brush. To the YCH. One second. So it is actually the first link, because I have several going right now. It's the one at the top. But this is the brush I've been using for that. That's higher. So that's it's weird because it almost looks like, I want to say it's like pieces of rice almost. But then when you use it, they create this really cool texture. So it's like granulated almost. It's really interesting. But it creates its own kind of like dither in a way. So I thought that was really cool for that kind of effect. Oh yeah, the snowball fight one, I'm gonna have those open through winter, not just through the holidays, so probably until at least February. So you can always come back and holler at me for one. I had somebody, I had Yinzi actually, get one of each from me, but it was for, one of them was of their hyena persona, and then the other one was them, like, as a person. So it was like their persona was throwing a snowball at their actual self. It was kind of a cool concept. That was fun to do. Yeah, exactly. Being bullied by my persona. Yeah, imagine having an actual DM. Imagine having a D&D group that actually meets up more than like 2 times before inevitably like canceling each night. People who have D&D groups that actually meet regularly and consistently, like, I envy them a whole lot. And it's not just an other people problem too, it's a me problem as well, because I end up also being one of those people that's like, oh, I can't make it tonight, maybe next week, sorry. So, you know. It is what it is. Inkin. This is very rough. A little too rough for me. Not as clean as I want it. That's better. Yeah, I think this year has really put a damper on a lot of people's plans. It sucks. Yeah. I hear you, Richie. certainly has been some kind of a year. Yeah, there have been some positives this year. As to whether or not they outweigh the negatives of the year, I'm not sure. I guess it depends on individual circumstances and perspectives. I didn't have any particular plans for this year other than, try to make a living just doing art and the passive income methods that I have going. And I think I've mostly accomplished that, so that's good. Because I didn't want to have to go back into the typical kinds of jobs I would have had to go back into if I kept applying to places, which is mostly customer service or food service. And I hate both of those. And I especially don't want to do them if there's a pandemic. It's not a great industry to be in. God, yeah, I was never lucky enough to be able to hide in the back room. I always had to do like a actual like customer facing, public facing position. Basically, retail is the worst option. So my prospects were mostly going to be serving food or serving drinks or both, like I used to do, which still sucks a lot. So I've been trying to avoid having to do that.
Don't give up.
Yeah, like I'm not bad at it. Unfortunately, that's not a great thing because if you show competence at stuff like that, that's where you end up, unfortunately. Those are the jobs that you end up being given because you've demonstrated that you're competent at them. People liked the drinks I made as a bartender, and so I was usually on bar. Gonna thicken the outlines a bit more. I want them really fat, really just thick. Thick with 2 C's. I wish that this cyberpunk reality of ours was good cyberpunk and not whatever garbage this is. We don't even have flying cars or modular body parts. Like, what the fuck? I feel ripped off. No, it's not even fun. Like, oh, we have VR headsets and Cybertrucks, I guess. Ugh. Can't even be a cyborg. What's the point? Sorry, I need to color sample. Wrong layer. Good job. Who's comicking? Ooh. Well, I hope that works out because comics are hard. Comics are a lot of work. So I hope that it comes together and pays off. And if you hear weird scratchy sounds, that's my tablet. That is me wearing down the nib on my stylus. Well, I mean, honestly, if you're doing any kind of art that you're actually aiming to grow, expand your audience, or make money off of it, you have to be all of those things. Even if you're not doing a comic. You have to be the artist. You have to be all aspects of the artist. You have to be a social media director, you have to be an art director, you have to be a marketer, you have to be a PR agent, you have to be an accountant. It sucks. It sucks. All these extra jobs that I was not trained to do, and I'm probably not qualified to do, and I have to do them. It's hard. Fucking hard. And like, it's... Unless you manage to hit the zeitgeist in just such a fucking way that you just experience explosive growth, it's so slow. Like, the progress that you see is so slow, it can be really discouraging. Yeah, that's why I never devote entirely to one platform. That's why I always keep my own website. Like, I don't rely on places like Tumblr or Instagram or anything like that to host my portfolio, because you never know when those services are going to have a massive change in how they're run or what they allow. or just go away entirely. So I always keep my own site as the main place to find what I do. And then I pick like 3 or 4 platforms to devote energy and time to. And then I will only focus on those until they become unusable or simply don't exist anymore, or like something about them changes and they just are intolerable. Like, you know. Right now, those platforms for me are Twitter, unfortunately, the Fediverse, and Twitch, mainly. I don't really use Instagram much. I don't use Facebook at all. I don't use Tumblr at all anymore. DeviantArt is basically a shambling corpse, so there's no point. And I try not to use Fur Affinity too much because it's Fur Affinity. I stopped using Tumblr before they banned porn just because I did not like the direction that the general culture was going. I didn't like the fact that it basically turned into fandoms brigading around to find people to cancel all the time. Just not a big fan of it in general. Also, I've never been much of a fandom person. Like, I'm a fan of things. I'm a fan of a lot of things. But I don't invest myself that heavily into what I consume. I don't know. I don't know how to word it. But I've never understood just, like, slipping a fandom into, like, a slot of my personality. If other people want to do that, that's fine, you know, whatever. But it just never was something I wanted to do. Never something that appealed to me. So I never felt like I really fit in Tumblr culture because I was not that heavily invested in the fandoms of things that I enjoyed. Yeah, that's what I mean. It's like okay, so I like Twin Peaks, but I'm not.
Please don't stop.
I'm not that invested in it, you know? For me, it doesn't matter whether it's in vogue or not. Like, I can like something that's super popular, but I don't have to constantly be immersed in it all the time. And I'm not gonna get in fights with other people about it. That's just silly. That's the thing, like, they constantly be fighting with each other over, like, what more or less turned out to be, like, headcanon stuff half the time, and it's just like, why? Why? All of this energy, and you could be putting it into, like, OCs or something instead. You're bickering about headcanons for something that's not even yours. Oh, I'm also not really into shipping. I think that might have been a big part of it. It's never really been a thing that I've cared about at all. I'm fairly aromantic, so romance is not a motivator for me to get into things. If it's a motivator for other people, that's fine. You do you. That's cool. Whatever you get out of the stuff you enjoy, that's great. I've never really cared much about it. It's not my thing. My partner, on the other hand, is very big into that kind of stuff. Not like to an obsessive sense or anything like that. Not like a shipper or anything, but he is more interested in pairings and stuff than I am. I could take it or leave it. Oh, I'm hungry. I'm still hungry. I appreciate pairings, you know, if they're done well and they make sense and there's good chemistry, but I don't like seek them out or feel a need to create them for my own satisfaction if they're not already in the media. I can't get over this picture. I love it. I love it. This hyena is literally just wearing a poncho and leggings, and it's so good. Oh, God. That's another thing. Like, I'm very picky about the media I consume. Like, I have watched a lot of things. I've played a lot of games. But I'm still very picky about what I like. I've never really watched Supernatural. I've watched like 2 episodes of it ever in my life. It just doesn't appeal to me, so I have no interest in it. My brother-in-law was super into Supernatural for a while. And had a big crush on one of the guys. I don't remember which one. I don't really know the characters. And I was like, okay, enjoy that. That's cool. He used to try to get us into it, but I was like, not really interested, thanks. I think he was also into Buffy at one point, so probably related to that. I was never into Buffy either. Yeah, I never got into Sherlock. I did watch quite a bit of Doctor Who, but I wasn't like obsessed with it. I just enjoyed it because it was fun. And then I stopped when Matt Smith became the Doctor because I didn't like his face and I didn't like the way he acted. And I never got into Torchwood. I know everybody on Tumblr was obsessed with Torchwood for a while because it was like, it's Doctor Who, but it's more horny. And I was like, that is exactly what I don't want. I'm glad Jack Harkness could get it, but I'm not interested in seeing it. His face looked like a foot to me. Like the bottom of a foot with a face drawn on it, and I didn't like it. And I didn't like his treatment of the Doctor, so. Although, there was one episode during Matt Smith's tenure that I enjoyed a lot, and that was the one with Vincent van Gogh. But that hit me in a certain spot emotionally because I can understand the plight of devoting your life to art and not feeling appreciated in your own time. And I think it would be really cool for any artist to be able to travel to the future to see how your art is received after you're dead. But that wasn't because of Matt Smith's acting, that was because it was actually a really well-written episode. Yeah, Richie. Like, as the kids say, that one got me in the feels. Yeah, the guy that played Van Gogh was very, very good. I'm old, what do you expect? Is Podrig still here? I would like to know if this is embiggened enough or if I need to go more or less biggened. I'm sorry. I'm not up to date on all the newest memes and sayings and jargons and lingos. I'll be my truest goon self and refuse to call things memes and call them catchphrases instead because meme was a Channer thing. And then I'll really show my age. Oh, I drew this on... Oh, drawing things on the wrong layers. Meme has been around since Richard Dawkins. He coined that phrase, or term rather, in The Selfish Gene. Like the only good thing he ever did.
Connell cast. Never generative, never procedural, always human. Except for this voice.
What, has he died yet? Like, I haven't heard much about him lately. Damn, he's still alive. Well, I'm pretty sure he's such a piece of shit that he probably hates the fact that meme has been used the way it's used now, and it has nothing at all to do with his work. Most people have no idea that he even coined that term, and they probably wouldn't care even if they did know, and that probably goes right up his ass. And that's good. That's good. That's net good. Yes, yes. Who can be the better Richie? I mean, I already know it's you and not him, but I would definitely see you fight a 76-year-old man. This battle needs to be live streamed so that I can enjoy it. That would be Poggers. Also, PogChamp face is good because that guy hates it. And he hates what it's become. So it's praxis to use it. Because it pisses him off and he's a turd. So we need to do like a smirky, goblin-y smirky expression here. And then we gotta put the tusks. How big do you want the tusks to be? I mean, they're not gonna be like true to size because this is a chibi, so... This is very crude. It's not gonna be like this in the end, trust me. This is just roughing it out a bit. Oh, here you go, it's all done. So in other news, I think my new balcony is all done. I'm pretty sure they finished it today. So that's good. And then next year, they're gonna do the other side. Oh boy. I'm glad they're done, even though it's too cold to go out on the balcony, because then I don't have to listen to them making noise with tools at 9 o'clock in the morning, when I'm still sleeping because I'm night crew. Although sometimes I'm not sleeping, sometimes I'm still awake because I haven't gone to bed yet. That's another story entirely. One of the cool things, but also frustrating things about hyenas is that their muzzles are very square compared to like dogs. It's very square, like just a blocky rectangle. And so it's cool, but at the same time, if you're used to drawing a tapering snout like a dog has, then this is very alien to have it be just this boxy. Okay, so from the bottom back molars, so they would be more towards the back of the jaw, like over here, right?
Consider joining the Colorado
Rather than up front.
higher quality tracks, no robot voice, and exclusive extras. See the show notes for the link. Either way, thanks for listening, and see you next time.
This one's over already? It seemed shorter than the last track. Huh.
Connell Cast by Connell Rad.
Again, this is rough. I will clean this up. I'm just laying stuff out.
Hi folks.
See how
Keeping
it's gonna
things a
go.
little less histrionic this week. More towards the hypnotic and the hauntological. Hope you like it. Let's go.
Oh, I don't like this one because it sounds like little kids and it's weird. I don't like creepy little kid voices in music. Pew pew lasers. Pew 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 pew. It's like those toy guns that do the like sci-fi sound effects. Alright, so how do you want the eyes to be? Like, what's style for the eyes, I guess? I don't know how to describe it. I'm not doing well with words today. I could do something like standard. It's kind of cutesy, but not really. I could do something a little more monstrous, I guess. Pew 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 pew. Gremlin-like? Okay. Yeah, I could do that. I can do whatever. You know, it's up to you. Alright, I can keep working on it like this, and then, you know, if opinions change, we can change it. Night, Skelly. Thanks for hanging out. You want like a little lip curl here? I could do like a little, like, something like that. I don't know. Not like a full snarl, but just a little bit. Alright, see you guys. Thanks for chilling. Yes, it is very boxy. It's getting late. I mean, it is only a Tuesday. I'm tired too. I'm probably gonna wrap it up soon. I need to eat too. I haven't eaten. I'm hungry. It was a very big grocery trip. Not chip. I'm thinking about food. So it actually took a lot out of me. Yeah, it's almost midnight. Like 15 till. One grocery potato chip. I went to the store and bought one single potato chip. And that's gonna last me until the next grocery chip. See? But that's how you do it. One of those life hacks. It'd be like 5-minute life hacks or whatever. Buy one grocery chip and then eat it slowly. Yes, one chip a day diet. All the rage. Everybody's doing it. Once we got the little curve of the mouth and stuff, we can bring the cheeks, so to speak, up just a little bit like that. Was there anything, I mean, I know you said the vest, was there anything else you wanted, like, clothing or accessory-wise, before we get too far into it? Earrings. Okay, I can do that. Also, is this a good size for the ears? Like, I can make them bigger. I wasn't sure. I didn't want to go too outrageous. I didn't want to go too nutrageous. Does anybody remember those candy bars? Nutrageous? Are those still around? I mean, honestly, almost every fursona seems to have, like, a lot of ear accessories of some sort, if they have big enough ears for it. Not just yeens, like everybody. There's ear real estate. People are generally going to use it. How big? Like, we can go all the way up to the edge if you want. It's up to you. Now my cat's whining at me. Tobias! Tobias. Oh no, he thinks he's being invited onto the desk now. Okay. Like this? Is that good? Okay. Alright, and then earrings. Probably do smaller ones towards the top. Maybe make them slightly gradually bigger towards the bottom. Like that. Exactly. Ears voice, it's free real estate. Alright, cool. I think we have most of the key details down. I think I might tilt the hips a little bit, match the angle of the rest of the body. Because it was kind of like, we have general angle of the upper body kind of going like this, and then this was more like this, but for no reason. But we want this to kind of match up more and be a little more parallel with that, so. But I am super hungry, so I think I'm gonna call it here, and we can go raid Somnoms, who's also working on art. I need to go eat, like badly, I'm dying. So we're gonna raid Somnoms. So I am going to keep working on this off stream. I thank everybody that came to hang out today. It was kind of chill, a little more chill, or maybe about the same chill, I don't know. It was chill, we had a good time, talked about some things, had some fun. Gal's been working on an OBS layout. I will be back on Thursday doing more art probably. Probably commissions if I get more YCH slots filled. And then on Saturday we'll be doing more Final Fantasy Tactics. And I'll see everybody in a couple days. So everybody take care. Thanks for hanging out again. Thanks Jojo for resubbing. And I'll see you around and have a good night.